Super cool radio.
Hello everyone, I am Matthew Thomas with the Super Cool Radio. My guest this time is a really cool promoter who currently works with and promotes Greg Fox of Renaissance Rock Orchestra, Love Bone, Ironia, Hammer Down Hard, 3 Points of Madness, As the World Burns, Shameful Behavior, Scanners, Lost Sympathy, Prima Donna Rising, Rick Fox, Canadian session bassist Ronnie Robson, Carlos Arroyo, New York AC/DC tribute band Bonfire, and Donnie
Mataccio.
There we go. Dead West, pro player, creator, designer Angela Gambino, promoter Axel Albrecht, and producer and promoter William Lopez. Please welcome Christina Avila.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you so much for being back here on Super Cool Radio and hanging out with me again. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing real good. It's actually like 80 degrees here in South Bend, so like I'm actually really enjoying it.
We had 50 degrees today. It's weird weather. Happy Friday. LOL.
For sure. Let's get this interview off with a fun question. I'm always curious, and that is, what music have you been listening to this week, Christina?
Wow, it's been different ranges of music. There's a new musician I'm working with named Russ Hewitt, and he's a Grammy-nominated, Latin Grammy jazz artist, and his name is Russ Hewitt. And I've been listening to his music. He just came out with a Cuban, beautiful solo piece. Also listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Very nice.
Renaissance Rock Orchestra, Song of Hope. It's been a rough week with lots of passing away of dear friends of mine from depression, from the pandemic and other things. So, and even Houses of the Holy from Led Zeppelin.
Yes, listened to some really great bands, and I know I had a similar conversation with another person. Like, music is very powerful to get you through a lot of different situations that life throws you.
Yes.
Yeah, this week I definitely I started listening to Everclear again. I really enjoy Everclear. I haven't listened to them in quite a while. I saw them back in 2019 live, so it was cool to listen to them again.
Nice.
All right, so now focusing on you, obviously this is your interview. I'm chatting with promoter Christina Avila. So I know in the last two interviews, I don't think I've actually covered this. So how long have you been doing promotion for bands?
It just turned 5 years ago on my birthday, which was April 21st.
Very nice. And so what got you into, like, I want to help out bands, I want to promote and do this?
Well, it started with the influence of my mom and dad. And I lost my dad 10 years ago, and he was Cuban. And music was always big in my family. I have 3 older sisters, and Solid Gold, American Bandstand, Soul Train. And music was just a way we all came together as a family. And then as time moved on, it helped me with the passing of my dad. So my best friend, Megan Graham, my fiance, Gennaro, my daughter, they convinced me to start up a music page. So when I first started, I was learning. You never stop learning. I was working with a band in London called Guilts and Pleasures. And then I started working with a band called Heaven's Basement. And it wasn't anything serious. It was just trying to get their music out there, trying to share their music. Unfortunately, the 2 bands broke apart. They broke up. Then I just lost my mom a year ago, and music has just healed with this pandemic also, and not being able to see my family like we used to. So yeah, my parents have always been a big influence on me.
It definitely, it's always nice when you have like my parents have definitely been very influential with my stuff as well. Like it's always nice to have like some type of support system, even if they're always good to always cheer you on and be there for you.
Yeah,
And it's always nice to have that family, because that's at least some people you can at least count on.
right.
So for sure. So I know as I listed, you work with a lot of great bands. And so, like, how you're always like finding new bands and connecting with different bands. So, like, how do you find these great bands? Like, is it kind of just scrolling through social media, listening to music, people you know, people? Like, how do you find these bands?
It's a mixture of being referred to check out a new band. Sometimes I just get tired of dealing with metal. I just want to branch out a little bit. Maybe social media, maybe going to see the local scene, maybe going to see the bigger bands, the national acts, and someone I've met has told me about this band or that band. With Rick Fox, I was actually introduced to him. I never met him in person. But his buddy Ian Chris, who's in this band called Rock Candy, they've been a cover band for close to 30 years from New Jersey. I went to a couple of their holiday shows that they did around Christmas time. And Ian was in a band with Rick Fox in the 70s in New York called Sin. So he told me to reach out to Rick. That's how I got to meet Rick Fox, who's a well-known bass player. He started off his career as a photographer for Kiss in New York. And then he moved to LA in 82. And he joined a band, Wasp. He's the original bass player.
Really?
The story about Wasp is there was a wasp crawling around on the rug in, I guess, Blackie Lawless's home. So he was the one that named the band Wasp. Then he joined Steeler, which is Yngwie Malmsteen and Ronnie Keel's band. And after that, the scene in LA had changed at the time. So he was just working with different bands. And now he's, I believe, in Tennessee. I believe he's in Tennessee with his wife. I'm not sure of their location, but he has an interview coming up next weekend. And he's a great guy.
Yeah, definitely. I think Rick Fox has his own show, I believe, too. He runs his own radio show, I believe, as well.
Really? That's interesting.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with him. I didn't know he was the original bassist for Wasp. That's really cool. Like Wasp, I actually got introduced to Wasp for like a friend of mine who was like he's a huge Wasp fan. He's like, dude, you gotta listen to their music, and like they're good, like they rock.
Yeah. Yep.
It's always cool, like all the connections you make, and especially like the ones like you don't like either plan or expect, or like it just happens. It happens a lot with actually me. Like, oh hey, this is my friend. You want to you want to interview him or like listen to their music or whatever. And it's kind of cool just how many connections you can make without like necessarily trying. It just kind of happens organically and naturally.
Right.
So obviously like a lot of bands probably approach you. So what do you look for when bands if they come to you and say, hey, I want you to help us promote us?
I like to ask them questions about, where they're from. Not to take it too seriously. I like to have fun with it. Their influences, how they started the band. Some of the times I ask them, why me? But I just do it for the passion and the love of it to support the scene, especially now with the pandemic. Basically, it's a mixture of that. Yeah, that's what basically, I want to know the kind of music, if they do metal, if they change it over to rock pop, if they change it to another type of genre, or is it going to be the same thing? And some bands have even gone across as blues, from metal to blues. Dead West has a little bit of that bluesy rock to them. Love Bone, he's not just metal and hard rock, but Roy Costin has a little bit of blues in his guitar riffs and his guitar solos also.
Yeah, definitely. If anyone hasn't checked out Rick Austin, Love Bone, and everything he's got going on, and the Four Large Men, like all that stuff, it's very diversified. Like
Yep.
that's like when everyone listens to them, you can definitely tell that he's a very talented guitarist who
Mhm.
does unbelievable work and always the highest like production he wants out of his work.
Right. I will send you his website. There's a lot of things I did not know about Roy. Back in the 80s, his music was submitted to the Library of Congress in
Really?
Washington. And I asked him about that. And he said, back in the day, that's how it was to get your music noticed. And he was signed to Paris Records, Perris, but I guess that disbanded. But I'll send you his website. There's so much interesting information about him that I did not even know.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But I guess I mean back in the day, I mean how much stuff there wasn't like a whole internet like there is now. So it had
Right.
to think of creative ways to get your name out there if you weren't with a
Right.
record label or if you wanted to reach more people. So that's actually very cool. He always shares with me his rejection letters from radio stations. He always
Right.
posts it. I mean, they're kind of funny. Some
Mhm.
like they just put the bare minimum. Like one they just wrote on the envelope, not interested. Like they mailed him an empty envelope.
Awful.
I mean, looking back, I mean, obviously it's kind of humorous, but definitely like just getting an envelope. They didn't take the time to like print out a piece of like a note or a piece of paper or even handwrite something. They just wrote it
Right.
on the back of an envelope. It definitely could be disheartening, but
Yeah.
I'm glad Roy never gave up on anything and he's still
Right.
doing what he loves.
Yep.
But also, you said with Dead West, who I did interview last season with Vinny. Really, really cool band. I know I think they opened for Steel Panther very recently too.
Yes. In Arizona, and everything apparently was opened, but you still had to wear your mask. You still had to do social distancing. And I guess they were all okay. They have something coming up, I believe, in September. I'm not sure because a lot of their shows had to be rescheduled, like everybody else, because of the pandemic.
Yeah, definitely. I know last year a lot of stuff's been rescheduled, and then some stuff is just outright canceled. I was supposed to do Smashing Pumpkins last year, and it just got outright canceled
Right.
because they couldn't find a way to reschedule. So I know I was supposed to see Ginger last year in Chicago, and then actually got pushed back a whole year and a half due
Wow.
to issues. So yeah, it's been definitely a lot of stuff's been changed around, thrown upside down. But I'm glad there's still great supporters of the music industry like yourself who are still making great music and trying to reach more people with this great music because that's what we need right now. That's the only way we can really showcase like local independent up and coming music is you need a platform for it. You need obviously internet for it because right now I mean there's not really that many live shows, so you have to find ways to reach people.
Yep.
So if you're looking to help promote a band, like how do you approach them? Like, do you email them? Do you message them on Messenger? Like, how do you approach talking with them?
It depends on the situation. With Roy and I were talking, and we can't remember how he approached me. I guess somebody I was working with at the time he knew about, so he reached out to me. With Dead West, I just reached out to them. Ronnie Robson, I reached out to just because he's such an amazing bass player, and I'll send you his website too. He's got an incredible website. It's brand new. I'm not going to lie, Matthew, because I'm an 80s hair metal fan. Never lived in LA. Always wanted to live in LA. But I guess the long hair still hasn't left. So that's part of it too. But overall, if a friend of mine gives me a band member's name and number, I'll call them. Sometimes I'll email them, sometimes Messenger. Just a quick introduction, my name. If they accept my friend request, a simple thank you for accepting my my friendship. I'll send them my business page link. And then sometimes it takes them a while to get back, but some of the bands get back to me right away. And they'll want to test the waters. They'll want to test me out, which is fine. And then we just take it from there.
Yeah, I really like the way you explain that. Definitely, obviously, I try to promote people. If you get back to me right away, like, hey, let's get this done, let's do this. Like, I already know you're serious. and like you're willing to do this. I know sometimes I mean people are, you know, obviously they're in their studio recording or they're playing a show, or like sometimes everybody has lives, like that's
Right,
also
exactly.
the thing. So you know, obviously, you know, slow response time, I mean, it happens obviously, and sometimes like people, there's so many messages, like I get flooded with emails on like you know, every couple of days I get a bunch of emails, you know, for different stuff, and sometimes stuff does get lost. But yeah, definitely. I found Facebook, like Instagram, like especially like Instagram. People really respond on Instagram because I think it actually shows up as a message. Like sometimes Facebook won't show you a notification,
Right.
so Instagram
Yeah.
definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely just using different platforms to your advantage. And
Mm-hmm.
definitely tell about Ronnie Robson, if anyone hasn't checked out, he's got a beautiful website. I love his new logo. And he actually hosts his own podcast. And
Yeah.
he's got some special guests he's not told me. He said he's keeping everything a secret for right now. So I'm
Right.
really looking forward to who he's going to chat with on his podcast.
Okay, I'll give you a little hint. He's going to try to feature me and a bunch of other people. I don't know who they are because he won't even tell me. I'm his promoter, but it's okay. I respect it.
Yeah, he's keeping everything under wraps, which means I know he's working on something big.
Yes.
And I'm really excited to see where it goes. I know he was featured in a book, I think last year too, about bassists and drummers.
Yes.
This is really cool, just his journey, his story, everything he's got going on, and that he's like pretty much like he's like a one-man show and a one-man army with doing everything.
Yes. He is in Canada, and it's so bad with the lockdown. He was supposed to start up a band, and they were going to start with the Northeast, Buffalo, New York, because they're not far from Buffalo, New York, and work their way down to here and then to other parts of the country. But with the pandemic, it was bad, and now the numbers went up again. So with this new project that he's doing, this new band, basically in lockdown. And with his website, he's just trying to keep it quiet. He's been through so much rejection, just like Roy Costin also. So he knows about the letters. He knows about the all of that. So it's part of life. He's just trying to get through it the best he can. But one little tidbit is he's going to have me on a show, and he's going to feature one of my artist logos on his website. I guess he has someone that works with him. So be on the lookout for that too.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. If anyone, just check out Ryan Robson's website, podcast, all that, and check him out. Really great guy. I really enjoy working with him, and you know, obviously working with you as well. So really cool. Be on the lookout for that. But also, so obviously, you work with a lot of different bands. Who are some bands that are working on or releasing new music soon that people should check out?
Okay, so I'm going to show you a T-shirt that I'm wearing tonight for my interview. They're called Renaissance Rock Orchestra. I don't know if you can see it, but they have a new album called Song of Hope. They have a Facebook page. It's Renaissance Rock Orchestra. They're on Spotify. They have a YouTube page. Please, if anyone can get out there and subscribe to their YouTube page. He has new videos Tuesdays and Fridays. The interesting thing about this band is it's Greg Fox. He's a producer, writer, keyboardist. This is not like any other band that I've worked with. The guys in his band, they're hard musicians because they have other bands that they're working with. National acts. Christian Brady, Tony Alaman, Brian Tichy from Dokken and Foreigner, Mark Bowles, who sang for Yngwie Malmsteen, Greg Smith, bass player who played with Ted Nugent, Alice Cooper in the beginning also, Michael J. Romeo. He started that band from a bass player that passed away in April 4 or 5 years ago, Michael T. Bones. And he convinced him to start this project. And this is the third or fourth album, I believe. And it's called Song of Hope. And their music is just gorgeous. It's positive. It's happy. They're working on a new website. We can purchase their merchandise. But if anyone wants to reach out to Greg Fox, if anyone wants to give the band a like, their Spotify page, and again, the YouTube, which is awesome, then just be on the lookout for their new videos at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 1 o'clock our time on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, definitely check out Renaissance Rock Orchestra. As you said, it's like their songs and like music has like a completely different like vibe to them. Like it really,
Right.
the Renaissance really comes out.
Like Dragon Force, just like Trans-Siberian, they're a symphonic metal band / classic rock band.
Yeah, they combine like those all those elements and styles to obviously create something fresh and different that it really doesn't like fall into like a certain category with like everything. It's like it has those different elements and styles to make it very unique.
Right.
So definitely, and look for Greg Fox in an upcoming interview very soon for Super Cool Radio as well, because I'm really looking forward to chatting with him. I got a lot of stuff chatting with him about, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Awesome. Roy Costin has 3 solo songs. I can't remember the names of them off my hand, but if you go on the www.roycostin.com, I believe they're listed there. He has a show coming up. He's a guitar teacher at the YMCA in Oneida, New York. He lives. He does community work there. And he has a show sometime in June in Oneida. It's a free show, and it's him against his students. And yeah, looks like a lot of fun. It's from 2 to 5. No alcohol, unfortunately, but that's okay. But he's an interesting character also. Ironia from Argentina, they have music on YouTube, but unfortunately, the way they do their music, it's different. They don't have a CD yet, so a lot of it is downloaded. Dead West has a new album out. If you go on their website also, Hammer Down Hard, you can go on their website and purchase their music on their website. Russ Hewitt, if you want to check out his Facebook page, you can download or listen to music on Spotify. So those are the ones. So many people listed on my page. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Lou DeBello also. He's a fantastic solo guitarist, but he also has a band. If you want to check out his website, check out his new stuff also.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. You work with a lot of great bands. If anyone wants to check out your promotions page on Facebook. You check out your personal page also on Facebook. You do a lot of promotion on there. And I think it would definitely be very cool to see Roy Costin battling his students, because I know he is really good, but I also know he teaches very well as too. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yes, I'm going to try to attend it. It just depends on how the numbers are and how things are going as far as a pandemic. I've been vaccinated and he has too, but you just have to see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I know everything's kind of starting off slow right now. I know stuff just starting to kind of get back to where it was, and we'll have to obviously just see from there and just see how everything goes. That's all we can do.
Yes, definitely.
But it's nice at least some stuff is in the works, and anyone who gets a chance to see Roy Costin work and perform, it's always a spectacle.
Yes, he is a character. He's the kind of guy that makes you laugh. One night we were having a conversation, and I know this is going to go live, but it's okay. I saw a guitar that looked like Zach Wild's guitar when we first started working together. And I said to him, Roy, does Zach Wild know you're borrowing his guitar? What? I said, does Zach Wild know you're borrowing his guitar? No, Christina, it's a replica that you buy at the Guitar Center. No, I didn't steal it. No, I didn't borrow it. And yeah, I'll never forget that moment. So definitely.
Yeah, you perfectly described him. He's definitely a character. And if anyone sees Chilling with Rick and their battles on Facebook between Roy and Rick, it's comedy. It's hilarious. I kind of just tune in to see that and see the comments section with both of them because it's really good.
Yes, definitely. Ronnie Robson too. I used to take him very seriously, but he's a character. Greg Fox, when you interview him, he's going to laugh and laugh, especially about how he pronounces my name. You said it perfectly. Roy did also, but I'm also half Hispanic. So the poor guy's trying to pronounce my name. And one of the interviews, he just said, Christina Avila. And I thought, oh no, so many people are listening to this, but it's all good. But you will love him. He's a character. He's a lot of fun, and he's a good guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that interview. It's coming up very soon, so I'm definitely looking forward to chatting with him. I know he's got a lot of history, a lot of cool things that he's done and currently working on. as you said, with In My Loving Arms. If anyone hasn't checked that out, it is currently, as you said, on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, anywhere you get music, it is currently there. And I have heard he's working on the new album. He's still, I think he's working with the record label to try to find out a date for that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yes. There's another musician named Carlos Arroyo. He's in Orange County. He has an awesome Jimi Hendrix tribute called Stone Free. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but Facebook banned him. So the Stone Free page is not on Facebook anymore. But he's coming out with a new band. I don't know many details about it, but California was really bad. But they're slowly starting to open up. So as soon as I find out the name of the new band and what's going on, I will send it to you also, Matthew. He's another one, too. The Canadian band Lost Symphony. They're another, just like Renaissance Orchestra. Kelly Kirilla, I can't even pronounce his last name. I apologize, Kelly. They're another an awesome band from Toronto, Canada. So
another great guitarist, and yeah, definitely. Again, a kind of similar kind of vibe to, like, as you said, Trans-Siberian Orchestra-esque meets classic rock meets really good music and songwriting.
yes, he does. Kelly does, I believe, guitar lessons, and he does something on Sunday nights where if you give him a friend request or you like his music or like his page, you get to see his solo guitar riffs that he does. And he's amazing. He's an amazing guitarist.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen a few of those. It's just again another person's spectacle to just watch him work, and the ideas, the sounds, the moods he comes up with like every guitar riff. It's always very different, and it's always unique to him.
Yes.
So definitely check out all those great bands. I have heard Hammer Down Hard. They're working on a new music video coming up shortly. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I've been told by Kim that it's gonna be something completely different. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Christina, thank you so much for hanging out with me here on Super Cool Radio. Please check out all the great bands she promotes. She has so many, as I listed. The stuff we talked about, I'll include them in the description. So please check all that out. But Christina, before I let you go, what can we expect for the rest of this year for your your promotions page, yourself, and for the bands you work with?
It's kind of hard to say because of the pandemic. A lot of bands still don't want to travel, and now with traveling in fact, you have to get tested negative, or you have to have your vaccination card to show proof that you've been vaccinated. That's kind of hard to say. I know Motley Crue, Joan Jett, Def Leppard, and Poison, they're doing a big tour. And it's going to be at Citi Field in New York. It's going to be in Boston at Fenway Park. With Renaissance Rock, I guess Greg is just focusing on the album right now. He just did a show with Alice Cooper in Phoenix, Arizona. And yeah, it was amazing. Roy's working on, new stuff. So it just depends on how the band feels as far as traveling. I guess for now, I'm really happy with the bands I'm working with. It's hard to say with this pandemic right now what's going to happen. Some bands might come. Some bands might just want to stay in their own area. There is a new amphitheater in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and it's being built as of now, and it's supposed to open in July. And it's called the Hartford Healthcare Amphitheater. And I will send you the link, the Facebook page, the website, and the person to contact for bookings for next year. It's going to be enormous. The first concert there is going to be in August with a country band, Brothers Osborne. So I guess, if bands feel comfortable after July to travel here, I guess it just depends on, and also state by state. Our theaters and our venues are not open. The smaller venues are open, but the theaters are not opened. We have one called the Milford Performance Theater in Milford, Connecticut. They are doing shows. The performers are outside the Milford, Connecticut Post Mall. So they're not actually doing shows in their theater. They're doing it somewhere else. So it just depends. And even some of these bands, what they do is they have to have the bands blocked off. There was a band called Round 3, friends of mine that I had gone to see last weekend. They had plexiglass, so you couldn't even see them. The sound was good. Another band called Streets, they did a show last Friday. They had to have the whole band blocked off. So I guess it just depends on the band, where they're coming from, the venues, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Things are definitely very different. And as you said, crossing state lines into different states, things can be very different. Even if you're in the same state, just because your city is doing something doesn't mean the city next door, the city down south or up north is doing the same thing.
Right.
So definitely, yeah, as you said, very well put. Just have to wait and see. I know things obviously are probably, as I said, daily. They'll probably be changing and weekly and all that stuff. So hopefully, I know it looks like we're starting to go a little bit in the right direction with stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Right. Yep. Definitely.
For sure. But please check out all the bands I mentioned in my intro, all the bands Christina mentioned. Check out her promotions page. Check her out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all that stuff. And please support her. Very great promoter, great person to work with. And check out all those bands, because who doesn't love good music?
Exactly. And guys with long hair.
But for promoter Christina Avila, I am Matthew Thomas with Super Cool Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you so much. And I definitely want to give a shout out to you also for supporting me. If any bands are looking for an awesome guy to interview with, and get in touch with Matthew Thomas from Super Cool Radio. He is the finest, the best, funny, and he has short hair, but he's so cool.
Thank you so much. Yes, check out Super Cool Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, or my email. I usually I check them all daily, so hit me up there, any of those platforms, or email if you like going old school.
Definitely. And purchase the t-shirts. Get on his website and purchase the merchandise. It's another way to help him too.
Yes, yeah, I got hats are directly for sale. They're $21, including shipping, and use a store, Endeavor After. The link will be in the description. You can check them out there. We have beanies and these really cool blue shirts for sale.
Awesome. I'll be looking into it.
Thanks so much, Christina. Always a great time chatting with you. As I said, check out all those great bands. If you like metal, hard rock, or Renaissance rock orchestra, check all those out. Great styles of music, great people to work with.
Thank you so much, Matt. I hope you have a great evening and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks so much. You too. And of course, you've been watching Super Cool Radio.